Hello and welcome to National HRD Network Pune chapter's webinar on the theme Identifying Work from Home Champions. Are the deployment basics right? I am your host for the session, Darpan Singh. I will be helping you all in next couple of minutes with how you can put up your questions and how you can interact with our esteemed panel. As you can see on the right side of your screen, there is a panel which says a lot of options, including a tab called Questions. You can maximize the tab, and there you can write in your questions and can put it forward to our esteemed panelists. This session will be divided into two parts. One is going to be the learning session, and one is going to be QA session. So anytime during the session, whenever you want to feel like, you can put on your questions in the question tab, and our panelists and our moderators will keep a tab about it. Ladies and gentlemen, without wasting much of your time, I would like to hand it over to the Vice President of National HRD Network Pune chapter, Shri Aman Rajabaliji. Thank you.
Thank you, Darpan. Namaskar, everybody. Namaskar, Alok, Vinita, Gayatri, Akanksha, and all the participants that have joined us today across India. Very shortly, I will be looking at all the names of the people that are part here. Darpan has been very kind and has given me the authority. Technical terms बड़ा difficult होता है, yeah. But thank you so much, all of you, for joining in. It's such a pleasure. और आज मैं खिड़की के बाहर देख रहा हूँ, मौसम बहुत बढ़िया है. So even the environment, the weather is helping us become conducive to listen to our speaker Alok Kumar. Alok Kumar का official introduction तो Vinita will give you. Vinita is part of our team, a senior lady from the HR training facilitation team. But Alok का और हमारा बहुत पुराना रिश्ता रहा है. He's been our supporter, and whenever we wanted to seek some help or dig into his khazana of knowledge, we always knock, and he was always there. So 2016 mein, I remember that we had a very large, nice conference we had organized under the presidency of Kavita Kulkarni, and Alok was one of our panelists there. So my interaction with him goes to 16th of March 2016. A little brief about NHRD, to all those who are not aware of the National HRD Network. It was formed more than 3 decades ago for the sole reason of disseminating knowledge and spreading skills, helping people to come together and network. If you guys have known the name of Dr. T.V. Rao, very famous, he is officially the father of HRD. The late Dr. Uday Parikh, इन सभी लोगों ने मिलके नेशनल एचआरडी नेटवर्क शुरू किया था, and the Pune chapter was formed in the early 90s by Yashwant Mudliar, Arun Waklu, Kiran Gandhi, and the other thought leaders of those days. And उन लोगों ने जो नींव खड़ी की थी, वो अभी हम बड़ी सी इमारत बन चुकी है, and we've been fortunate enough to be part of this. We organize such kind of knowledge webinars. We have workshops, skill development sessions, conferences, quite a few activities. We are also active in the education sector. We do a lot of work for the student community. The Pune team comprises of the president, Anand Khoth. Unfortunately, he is involved somewhere else. We have treasurer, who's again Dr. Neeraj Mankar. He is part of the also Flame University, or Sheetal. Sheetal is the coordinator. She again is involved somewhere else, undergoing a skill development course, by the way. Yes, we've nominated her for that, so she's busy phoning up that. दर्पण, जिसकी भारी भरकम और तेज आवाज आप लोगों ने सुनी, वो हमारे भी टीम मेंबर हैं. वो दिल्ली में बैठे हैं, दिल्ली से सब कुछ चला रहे हैं. तो थैंक यू सो मच दर्पण. और विनीता जो सामने आपको स्क्रीन पे दिख रही है, बड़ी प्यार से मुस्कुरा रही है. शी इज ऑल्सो पार्ट ऑफ द पूना चैप्टर टीम. ये छोटा सा ब्रीफ है. We have more than 215 people who have joined in, and majority of them I presume that are all HR people. दो शब्द मुझे याद आ रहे हैं एचआर वालों के लिए, एचआर के लिए, भाई ये एचआर पर्सन जो मैं हूँ। चिरागों के अपने घर नहीं होते। गायत्री जी, ये आपके लिए भी लागू होता है। चिरागों के अपने
Yes,
घर नहीं
but
होते, जहां जलते हैं वहीं रोशनी बिखेर देते हैं। So that, according to me, is the quickest, shortest definition of HR people. Rosni Bikhero, bus. That's what. Yeah. Thank you so much, Alok. I now hand this over. I will put off my screen and hand this over to Vinita and Alok. All yours. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Aman. After you starting with such enthusiasm, it just adds to start this webinar at a very kind of connecting note. So I have an honor of privilege to introduce Mr. Alok Kumar. While we were having this planning for this webinar, I had a chance to interact with him, and I'm going to tell all the laurels that he has had in his life so far. I just want to start from a personal note that it's been he's such a humble person, and it just seemed like speaking to him even at the first time, as if I've been knowing him from earlier. So Alok Kumar is partner of SRKay Consulting Group. His dream is to create value from technology ideas. His organization has a global presence in the USA, UK, Finland, and Malaysia. Before that, he was the managing director of Sears in India for several years. He has a number of research papers and has presented in prestigious forums like United Nations and World Economic Forum. He's an author and also has been the technology advisor to the Bombay Stock Exchange. He was awarded an SHRM award for unique and out-of-the-box HR practices, and he's going to tell us all about the SCIKEY, which is a global talent marketplace venture of SRKay Consulting Group. And with all this information, I welcome Alok here to this session, and we are now 233 people just now.
So thank you, Vinita. It was really nice of you to give such a roaring welcome and such a nice introduction. I myself felt, am I really that great? Because we all are human beings. We are same. We are equal. It is just that few are lucky to get better opportunities, better chances to show their skills. And I'm pretty sure everyone has, great skills. And by heart, I am more of an HR person. Even though I have led large companies, but companies are all about group of people. They are not about machines. There are people behind those machines. And to be a successful CEO or MD or now investor, a partner in an investment company, finally you bet on people. You don't bet on ideas. And this is where I would like to, tell the entire HR fraternity who is present here that COVID has brought lot of challenges, but within those challenges there are immense opportunities which are certainly going to open up doors of those things which we have not even thought about. And the good part is, I will tell a story to start with, to tell how opportunities are picked by people, and I'll then come to the subject of what I'm talking about. My company, SRKay Consulting Group, is funded by a large diamond group. The company SRKay Exports. They're the largest exporter of diamonds in India, and they have they have more than $1 billion turnover. They works in Surat. The chairman of the company is just sixth pass, okay, from his village school, and he is a billionaire today. Now, I asked him long time back, please tell me, what was the transformation? What made this change happen? And he told me a story, and I'll make it a short one. He said that I came from Amreli in North Gujarat to Surat as a diamond polisher and used to work 12 hours a day. And that 12 hours were very nice. It was very fun time, because that was the time we used to get 12 hours of fan. We used to sit under fan, although it was hot. But then in my village, I used to sit at the best under the tree, which was, which were also rare to find. And 12 hours we used to work. There were no Sunday, Saturday. That time, a sage, a sadhu, a sannyasi, who came to Surat city, and he revered those sannyasis. He wanted to visit. There were 7 days of you know uh, preachings, pravachan, we call that. And he went to his owner and he said, I want to attend the 7 days of pravachan. His owner said, no, you can't go, because then who will do the work? He said, I will do it. I will do it at night. Please allow me to go in the daytime. So he said, okay, provided that none of the work is hampered, you can go. So every morning he used to go, take bath, dress up, and go and sit in the seminar, in the pravachan. And evening he used to come back, finish his work till late night, and then sleep and go like that for full 7 days. Now there were 30,000 people who were attending that pravachan, and he was one of them, a poor guy. Those were the time when there were no respect being given to the low level people, and the workmen were like that. And I think in HR, HR became HR much later. Earlier it was time, office, and industrial relations, where you had management and workers. Okay, so it goes to even beyond that. Now this man, the person giving pravachan, he called out and he said, how many people want to be respected? So all the poor people, they raised their hands and said, yes, we want to be respected, because that is something which is so elusive to us. Because in order to gain respect, we need money, we need car, we need big houses. But we are poor people. We live in a small places. Nobody respects us. He said, so easy. You actually earn respect only by giving respect. So go ahead and give respect to anyone and everyone you meet, anyone and everyone you are working with, your people around you, and you see you will get that back in return. Now, out of those 30,000 people, how many people got that message was a question. He was one of them, and he learned it, came back to his factory, and he started talking to everyone as aap, and became very respectful to everyone. Now his colleagues started making fun of him. He said, oh, this Govind Bhai has suddenly become Babaji. He is telling everyone Bhai and aap and whatnot. They started making fun of him, but he didn't change. And slowly they all started telling him the same thing back. They also started giving him the respect back. After some time, his owner was going outside, and he called Govind Bhai, and he said, you see, what I understand is that you are the most respected person in the company, and everyone respects you just because you are so nice to others. Why don't you become foreman in my place, and start managing everyone on my behalf? And then rest is the history. From a polisher to a foreman to a partner to an owner of a company. The journey of 50 years just happened because he learned a very simple thing: give respect to others. While it might look very, very simple, but understand one thing: there are good things all around us. There are good people. Just learn to take that small lead. Today, COVID might have brought up a lot of problems to us, but there is always a silver lining that tomorrow something better will happen, because this time is pushing all of us to think different, to be respectful to each other. And being in HR, everyone looks forward to HR. Please guide us, please help us. And this is the time HR takes even one step more. Their importance becomes one step more. Instead of you being, you feeling frustrated and feeling down, it is you who have to start giving hope to people. It's you who have to stand up and say, we stand between you and a hope, and I will take your hand and go to the next stage. And with that, I want to welcome all of you once again. So I would immediately get on to the topic, and I'm going to be showcasing you this presentation. Now, this is primarily a presentation which, I don't know whether you're able to see that. Just 1 minute. Just give me a minute. Yeah. Here it comes. Now, I have a team sitting in Finland, which does the research for me. I'll give you a small brief of the background. Around 4 years back, and my involvement with people in HR was very detailed. In 4 years back, I asked my team to say, understand why is it two people perform differently, being given the same education, same environment, same thing. Why these two people are different? And by the way, why these 4 people are different, and why these 100 people behave and perform differently? So this went for a research work, and I was personally involved in the research. We named that research as a mind match research. It is understanding how people decide things using their way of thinking. While that research went for years, way back 2018, I was invited to United Nations to present this report of how startups become successful and failure because of the way people think, because of the way the founders think. And by the way, it is not about the founders or investors or anybody. It's about everyone. How do we think decides our future, decides our destiny, decides our outcomes. And working from home is basically one such element. So I would focus my discussion on working from home and understanding what works and what doesn't work. And I'll be open to questions to answer more about mind match algorithm and the theory behind mind match in question answers if anyone would like to ask. So we have this data. We have, as I told you, we have the whole job site, and we are a marketplace. So we have thousands of people who apply and they attend to our assessment. So we took their data. We have 10,000 plus data. I will come straight away. For Maharashtra, obviously, there are a large number because we are here. Primarily, their domain was into IT and technology. 10,000 plus professionals with the age group of 22 to 47. And we had done once research earlier, which gave one very startling data. And the data says only 0.2% of the entire workforce is work from home champion. It means left free at home, they would really do better than they would do while working in office. Now, when that report came out, immediately a lot of people became very critical. They say, oh, this is not right. This is like, how can it be just 0.2%? Now, the problem is we didn't take survey. We did research work. And that research, we came with the data. And eventually, a lot of companies came back asking us that, please help us, because yes, we are facing problem on working from home, which prompted us to come with the second research paper, which I will be now showcasing to you. So here we said these are the 10 different reasons why people don't perform. The challenges working from home, the time management, working too much, technical hiccups in communication, the invisibility, you're not being seen anywhere, your interruptions, suddenly your child or your spouse, somebody comes in, lack of human connection. You're used to sitting in office and talking to people, having a cup of tea and coffee together. Here, it's nothing. Difference in time zones, it's always there, especially when you're working across different geographies. Lack of routine. Yep, you just work and you are sitting in front of computer all the time. You don't even realize when you are so late or so early at work. No demarcation between home and office, and it's a big problem, especially today. It is okay because everyone is sitting at home, but once you start going out and things start becoming normal, the demarcation between home and office becomes more difficult, because your family would like to see you out for some fun time, but here you are all the time engaged. And finally, merger of professional and personal life. So these are the challenges, remote working challenges, what people are facing. And we have already got some answers. Okay, fine. People can do this thing when time management, they can do better scheduling, stick to clock, intermittent breaks. So this deck with all these answers will be shared to you all later on. But the key thing which I want to discuss is that there are basically 5 different personalities. That's what our research came out with. There are 5 different personalities which actually define the productivity from home. When I told you that there are only 0.2% people who are work from home champions, these 0.2% people actually have all these 5 criteria inbuilt into their behavior, and this is where they're able to balance themselves, and it is not possible for others. So let's see one by one. So our data says that 16.97, approximately 17% people are those kind of guys who can be engaged very well if you throw challenges to them. Now, what does it mean? It means if you simply say, hey, you work from home, and they have nothing else to do, even if there is a routine job, they will not enjoy. They will start feeling detached, depressed, unhappy if they do not face challenges. So when you identify such people, while we have an algorithm, a mind match algorithm, from where you can find out very clearly that who are such people who love challenges. So these kind of people, 17% as per our data says, you have to give them challenges. For example, I want this work by tomorrow evening, 4 o'clock. And you see these people working day in, day out, enjoying their time. And you say their productivity is shooting up like anything. Whereas the same set of people, if you don't throw challenges to them, will start throwing challenges back to you. They start questioning back to you. They start telling you, no, they are not enjoying. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? And you will feel sooner or later that these people are becoming burden on you rather than helping you. And obviously, such people cannot be kept happy for too long, right? So understand one thing: identify those people who love challenges, give them the work which is time bound, which is problem solving, and push them hard to deliver it. And believe me, they would love it. There is a second set of person who is basically instruction driven, and you will find a lot of such people. Okay. However, back again, we see 17% of our sample size is highly instruction driven. So there are such people who basically tell me what to do and I will do it. Now, in remote working, these are the people who typically end up becoming a burden, because you can't be calling them every time and say, do this today, do this tomorrow. However, they're sizable number, 17% as per our sample. But if the sample becomes bigger with more demography, you might find this number to be increasing even more. So the easy way and the best way to handle them is primarily by ensuring that everything is given in a checklist. Today, this is your job. Tomorrow, this is your job. This week, you have to do this. And you also will have to keep asking them back. You have to make sure that these people are always asked, have you done it? And is the instruction clear to you? So obviously, I would not say they are the best people to work in an organization, but then you have a lot of them like that. They are the people who are being nurtured in many cases to just follow instructions. We call it a military style. And in many organizations, that works, because say, suppose you are doing a quality testing, you have to follow those standards and you have to follow the instructions. And likewise, so you will have to identify such people, make sure that you give them a very clear instruction so that they follow, and ask them whether they understand it or not. And you will see their productivity improving much better than otherwise. There is a third set. It's a pretty big number. And I think 40% of those people who want to work, but not without knowing why they are working for, what they are working for, right? So you just simply ask them, do this work, just opposite to the previous grade who were purely instruction driven. These are the set of people who want to know, why am I doing it? They simply want to understand, why are they putting this time, energy to a particular set of job, what it will deliver, what it will give, how it will benefit others. And if we do not share that with them, if we do not give that premise to them, their productivity comes down drastically. And we have seen in experimental cases that instead of being productive at times, these people may become negative productive. It means they start becoming burden on the team, because they start asking questions, they start challenging, they start even telling you this is a waste, why they are doing. And then the gap between their thinking and the work you're trying to do becomes too much. Let me give an example. Now, in technology, in IT industry, somebody says, go and develop this function. Make sure that we link WhatsApp to this calling feature. Developer goes ahead and say, yes, I will do it. But if the person knows why we are doing it, it becomes easy for the person to understand. So like example, you say, well, we want WhatsApp to be one of the feature because WhatsApp becomes so popular. Everyone finds it very easy to interact with each other using WhatsApp. And therefore, we are thinking that we take away our standard chat module and give one more option of WhatsApp so that people can connect to each one of us more effectively. And that is the reason I'm trying to do. If I don't do it, then we might become a laggard in the industry. Now, this is a story which such people imbibe, and they start working, adding their own energy, coming with their own ideas. And that's very important because they end up adding further value. They say, if you are working for this reason, can we do it this way or some other way or better way? And you will find these people being really productive, not only productive, very valuable, provided you engage them by telling them why you are doing what are you doing. And believe me, in our industry, even in face-to-face working in offices, our data shows that less than 10% of the workforce actually knows why they are doing what they're doing. People come in, they just do some work and go back home. My time is over. Since the boss has said I'm going to do, since it is, but why is it companies doing this? Very few people really know about it. So this is an eye-opening thing whereby we say that 40% of the workforce is looking forward to be involved, looking forward to learn and understand why we are part of a team trying to do something together. And believe me, as HR, you have to emphasize with the management team and tell them, please involve people by telling. And believe me, this is something which works for everyone, not just people who want to know the reason. It works with everyone. And those with people who get engaged with the reason, it does magic with them. All right. Then there is the next set of people, around 12.5% or 13% people who are people driven. Well, these are the guys who are emotional, who think about others first, who think about talking to others to reduce their anxiety. They want to see faces, they want to talk to people. And I'm sure a lot of you are like that. I see a lot of HR people are like that, who thrive with people. And these are the people who you should not be leaving offline for too long. Even when you are talking to them, you should not be talking to them over phone. You say, why don't you open a video? Let's see each other. Let's exchange pleasantries. Talk to them anything other than work first. Engage them, make them emotionally charged. These are the people who will do anything to satisfy you, anything to become productive if they are emotionally charged. So for them, knowing the reason why they are doing is one, certainly the basis. But then when they see, if I do this, my colleagues, my other friends, they are the people who are going to benefit from it. And I'm going to work because I see them every day. Somebody falling to COVID, they are the people who will be more worried, who will probably lose a night's sleep and say why it happened to them. They genuinely want to help others. So these are the gem of people. But when it comes to productivity, they may not be the best guys until unless they get involved with emotions, where you engage them by giving them a feeling that even though you're working from home, you're remote, you're not far away from us. And a simple video, a simple set of pleasantries does the magic. And it should be done regularly. Otherwise, it's very quickly these set of people get depressed, they feel sad. All right. And now we have a large set of people, almost 26% of people who are hierarchy driven. And I think being an HR fraternity, you work for hierarchy, you create the organization structure. So structure gets ingrained in the mind. So it's like more like if someone goes and tells other person in the organization, hey, I need your help, can you help me? Common response will be yes, why not? There might be other response, yeah, I can, provided you take permission from my boss, right? Or please inform my boss, or send an email who will approve it. My boss will approve it, and then I will get involved. So these people go by the books. When I say by the books, for them, rules are most important. These are the rules. So I'm not talking about instruction driven. So yes, those are the set of people earlier I spoke about are the guys who wait for instructions. Tell me what to do. These people who are engaging in hierarchy driven, these are the people who actually write instructions, right? So they are the people who say, yes, get in, log in, put this mail, take permission. If approved, okay. If not approved, give it to this person. They write instruction, which is basically we write in coding in computer programming. Hierarchy, very clear understanding. As soon as the line becomes fuzzy, which is now with artificial intelligence becoming very fuzzy. Fuzzy is something where you say, irrespective of whatever, I can go anywhere, do anything, and decide my own thing. Flatter organization. Yes, these people tend to be very uncomfortable, right? So you have to follow orders. So these hierarchy-driven people you will find mostly in, say, armed forces. You will find in, police forces, where the whole knowledge of hierarchy is ingrained into their mindset right from day one. And it works very well when you have to get some job done in a disciplined manner. No questions asked. I tell you and you go ahead and do it. But yes, when you are creating an organization which has to be very nimble, smart, you'll find these people becoming a barrier. But working from home, you have to handle these people a bit more delicately, because it is always hierarchy. So if you maintain hierarchy and if you tell them that this is, I'm involving your boss, I'm involving your other set of people, this is the job done, these are the minutes of the meeting, you make sure you make it ready, you will have to do all those things. So yes, there is an overhead to engage such kind of a people. You will ensure these people become fairly productive. And remote working champions, as I already said, that our data says only 0.2% of the people are remote working champions who actually end up doing all kind of work, under all kind of challenges. They adjust pretty fast, and they are able to, do things the way that the time demand, the way the situation demand, ultimately giving the best output under any situation. So such work from home champions, these people whom I spoke about just now, these 5 traits, they all can tend towards work from home champions if that one aspect of their behavior is handled carefully. You will see drastic change in their attitude, in their happiness, and in their productivity. So with this, I'm putting an end to my presentation, right? So I would love to get questions, and if you have, because I wanted to save some time for question answers. I understand that being in HR, you would love to clarify a lot of the doubts.
So I request the audience to start keying in their questions in the chat or at the place where question is written. And by the time we are getting some questions, one question that has just come to me, Alok, which I just thought that what made these 5 heads as the criteria for this research?
Okay.
If you could share that, yeah.
Yeah, so it actually comes from our mind match research. So I'll give you a brief about this mind match algorithm and mind match research. This entire research comes from Vedic philosophy. Okay, now this Vedic, this ancient philosophy, psychology, talks about this 4 set of minds. The Chitta, Manas, and Buddhi and Ahankara. Now, the Western world talks about IQ and EQ. These are the 2 things, and then they keep coming with a social Q. Social Q quotient is another one which they just invented some time back. But the Vedic philosophy and psychology is very, very old and tested and tried. There are many other aspects to it. I'm only dealing on one part which is related to the professional way of working. I'm not talking about the happiness and other part of it. Now, the key element which makes a person decide and do things out of this chitta, manasa, buddhi, and ahankara. Chitta is basically the supernatural when we talk about from the outer world, Brahma. We will ignore it for now because we are talking about only our work and profession. But what is buddhi? What is manas? Manas is our database of whatever we experience, and then we keep accumulating the data. That if I touch a hot surface, if I touch a cold surface, and then in future that data tells us not to touch it, or I see a snake and I jump because the whole life I have been taught the snake is dangerous. So these things get into our manas, and the buddhi is an analysis. It just analyzes all the data to take a decision, right? These are the basic things, and this is what the Western philosophy teaches about EQ and IQ. The IQ is basically the data, how much I am retaining, and the EQ is about how much I am able to analyze. However, the most critical part, which is missed in these Western philosophy, is the ahankara, which is the ego in the real world, what we call it. Ahankara is nothing but an identity. It's not ego. It is the identity. What am I? Okay, if I say I am an Indian, I'm from Pune, right? If I'm an Indian, if I go to say Japan and I see another Indian, immediately I feel more eased out and I want to go and greet that person. Why? Because my identity as an Indian is ingrained in my mind, which tells me as soon as I see another Indian, I go and talk to the person. And then next identity is I'm from Pune. If the other person says, yes, I am also from Pune, my chat will elongate by a few more hours because I feel more closer to person. Now, this ahankara is the critical element of every decision making. And this is where every person identifies, this is I am, this is how I am taught. So when I say people who love to meet other guys, for them, they have made their identity as someone who is made to make others happy, who is made to feel emotional. So their identity is I'm an emotional person, I want to be emotional. So if you try to change their identity or shake up their ego or ahankara or their basic ethos, they feel very disturbed. It's not possible, right? Because this ahankara and all these things are built up by the age of 2022. After that, it's done. After that, people end up creating their destiny out of all the learnings what they have got. So when we did research, we found these 5 different traits. Rather, we found more than 1,600 traits, but we are collapsing it for the ease of understanding the 5 different traits. People who use logic, who are when I said you should tell them why. They're the people who are logical. You satisfy their logic, and then they use their mind to say yes, I can do somewhat more, or they say yes or no, I decide yes or no. Likewise, these are the 5 key traits which we found are meaningful for working from home, and that's the reason why we have found why we have put up these 5.
Great. So now we have like series of questions have come up. So another one which is a little bit similar, which says, what is the methodology to find out the remote working champions as 2%? This is Manoranjan Singh.
All right. So when you talk about work from home champion, there can be simple meters. The meter is, are you really enjoying sitting and working for 10 to 12 hours, 7 days a week from home? If you're enjoying it, you're only taking a break to basically straighten your back and to eat food, and you're immersed and involved, not for 1 day, 2 day, but weeks after weeks, months after months, then I can say that you're work from home champions. And that is the reason why our data says only 0.2% people can do that. Okay, because normal person would certainly like to take a break and after some time say sorry, I'm enough of it. Okay. So there is a assessment which we have in SCIKEY, which is available. Anybody can do that. Based on that assessment, one can find what their personality is, and based on that personality, one can find out what is that area where they need that prop to become work from home champion. It doesn't tell that you are work from home champion. It simply says, if this is the area you can manage, you can become work from home champion. You will start enjoying. So I hope I have answered.
Sure. So,
1 minute. Vinita and Alok, if your bandwidth is okay, may I request you to please start on both your videos?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
1 second. Yeah, okay. So, just give me a second. Yeah. So the next question here is an interesting one asked by Nishita Vyas. She's asking, how do you identify that your employees fall under these sets? Are there any specific survey model or method?
Yeah, so, as I said, well, yes, there is an assessment what we have created called as SCIKEY Mind Match, which anybody can take and find out what are the areas where they need to prop out. It's a very simple way, a straightforward way. But suppose if that has not happened, it's not coming. There are a few pointers which can, tell you exactly the same. The key, suppose if a person is asking a lot of questions, okay, before any job is done or given, understand very clearly these are the people who are curious to know, to go to the roots, and you better make sure that they get answers of their question. But rather than just being a question answer session, they have to be diverted with that. It's like, our Lord Krishna gave answers to Arjuna, and Arjun kept on answering, Arjun questioning, and he was like frustrated. But Krishna drove him and quietly took him to the path where he wanted to. So those people who are asking questions, and they're asking question which is more about uh, negating what you are asking them to do. It means why not this way? Why not that way? It means those people are not clear of why and what they are doing, and they have to be handled by making the whole thing clear to them. There are a second set of people who simply don't work. You tell them, go ahead and do it. They will just nod their head and they just sit. Okay. They are the people who are instruction takers. Make sure that you ask them, do you know exactly what to do? Many of them will say no, some of them will say yes, but then observe them for some time and you know exactly these are the set of people whom you have to all the time give instructions. Hierarchy is very easy. Ask them to go ahead and do some job without informing their boss, or vice versa. You will see, immediately they're going and calling boss, I'm doing this. So which is the hierarchy driven set of people. The emotional set of people or who are wanting, people, they are the guys who all the time text you, call you, even talk to you for things which are immaterial. They're the people who really like people around them, like themselves to be surrounded by people. So you have to handle them accordingly. It's a simple telltale. At the same time, there is an assessment to tell, what kind of people personality they have and how they can be effective working from home. I hope I answered.
So Alok, I just want you to know that there is a plethora of questions that are coming up. I'm just actually going serial wise, and so one of it's another Saroj Saraf is asking, do you feel that constant work from home can create a depression in an employee?
Yes, actually, when you talk about work from home and constant work from home for everyone, just like all the time working in office is not very good, all the time working from home is also not good. Nothing extreme is good. That's very clear. So just like, I was working and I was telling my team in that while today everyone is working from home, but in future, even if we make this as a standard way of working, at least once in a week, we should meet in one place to discuss face to face, maybe just have lunch or dinner. But you cannot work every time from home because work from home effectiveness peaks out after some time. And that's very, very important for us to understand where the peak happens for whosoever it may be. In my learning and in my data very clearly says, based on whatever analysis we did, that work from home can be a standard way of working, but you have to maintain a discipline to see that you are not overworking. to see that you are able to keep these boundaries very clear, where your work starts and where your home begins. It's only then you will be effective. Otherwise, you will feel frustrated and depressed, even though you are surrounded by your family members. So, unfortunate part of it, yes. And we are seeing in some cases it is happening that way.
Sure. I think that's a great distinction that you have made, Alok. The next one is coming from Surya Pawar. It says, I think the organizations would love this question. It says, how are organizations virtually monitoring work from home productivity? And is there any metrics in place for this in India now?
Yeah, so actually, the only way, like we ourselves try to follow some matrices. It is the only one matrix what we follow is outcome. So it is like if the team is given a job, whether they have completed it within this time or not. Frankly speaking, this is something which is very, very nascent and unaddressed so far, not only in India but worldwide. So when you talk about productivity, because say like BPO environment where somebody has to sit at home, take so many calls, attend to so many chats and customers, it's very easy to measure. But there are many other jobs where you simply can't measure, even if you're working in office. So earlier, at least few months back, the main measurement of hard work was that you are working in front of your boss for 8 to 10 hours. So then it's like, wow, this guy is working. But now suddenly you're not present. Now what to do? Even if you're sitting in front of computer all the time. So we have certain softwares like, recently I started using a software called Bitrix 24. Now, Bitrix 24 is a software which has a productivity measurement tool where if you sit at home, starting your computer, you start a timer and then put your task. This is what I am doing by the day. And your boss gets to know how many hours you have worked and what all job you did across the day, whether you were actually been given some work or not. So we have adopted, and I think work from home, we really needed something. Bitrix 24 came to be very close to our requirement. So that is the best today, what I have found. Otherwise, there are no such metrics which at least my colleagues and other companies are coming up with. It will take some time to mature.
Sure. So Alok, I also just want to take a pause and just let you know that there are many people who are acknowledging all the inputs that you have given. There are multiple comments here saying very insightful presentations and explanation. So just want you to know that. The another one which is asking here is that what factors other than behavior should be considered in allowing employees to work from home? And this question is asked by Subhashri Sekhar.
Okay. So you see, there are some jobs which cannot be done sitting from home. If you are a policeman, or if you are a factory worker, or if you need to be at your workplace for you to be effective, for them work from home is not possible. We should just simply forget. So that's one part of it. There is other part of it where people can work from home. Believe me, work from home was more of an incentive few months back, where people said, if I'm at home, I know in office I'm only working for 4 hours. The remaining 4 hours I'm just gossiping around, having tea, coffee. So sitting at home at 4 hours I'll work, and balance 3-4 hours I will do something else. Maybe go to shopping and spend time with my family, or whatever. So it was seen like an incentive. However, these 3 months of work from home has actually opened up so many things where people are now desperately asking, I want to come to office because I want to get acknowledged. I want to be there because I want others to see me working, right? So this is where I realized that allowing to work from home is not a privilege anymore. It is more about, especially when industries are talking about productivity. The productivity is no more the onus of the company to take from their employees, but it's the other way around, where in order to be relevant, the employee have to be productive, and the employee has to basically seek the method by which they will be most productive. So this is the change what has happened. But now if you're asking, how can I use other than the behavior? very clearly the work which requires to be at site, no work from home is possible. And if the person going home has very clear understanding that what they are going to do if they are sitting and working from home, it makes a sense for you to allow them. But if person says, tomorrow I'm working from home and there is nothing on the table, we don't know what we are going to work, then it would be a waste. I mean, I would clearly say it will become a out of sight, out of mind kind of an activity. So anyone asking for work from home, they should also give a data. This is what I'm supposed to be doing from home. It makes sense.
Sure. So now there are two set of questions. This is by Anuja Chumble. Question number one is, are the employees only compartmentalized into one type of five? And the second one is, does the category change from a fresher to an experienced person?
Fresher to an employee, and second one is?
So fresher or to an experienced person. Is there a, the difference?
Well,
yeah, the first
industry.
Yeah.
And the second one was a?
First, okay, let me just go one by one. First one is, are the employees only compartmentalized into one type of five?
Okay. You see, the definition of fresher means somebody who doesn't know your business. So they have to be taught your business so that they can become productive and experienced. This is the simple vanilla definition. So when we say those are the people who are coming in the company who have no experience, frankly speaking, even an experienced guy who is coming from outside and coming here in your company is fresher for some time. So when we see fresher as a fresher, especially now with a changed ecosystem, there are people who are extremely smart, and instead of being freshers, we can simply turn them as explorers. And these are the people who are or explorer or challengers. These are the people who are coming with no baggage, and they are the people who can actually question us, and probably make us think whether we were doing things were right or not. But then again, the industry mindset doesn't change so quickly. Lingos which were there 100 years back continue to persist just because generation after generation we keep learning that. Answer is this differentiation and demarcation exists in our minds. If I say this is a fresher, I tend to underutilize a person. If I consider that somebody is experienced, I tend to over expect from a person. And this is what leads to a lot of productivity gaps in many of the industries. Maybe time to rethink.
Sure. So I think on that note, Alok, I'm feeling a little sad about it because we have series of questions here, and we are, as we are going to share the. Yeah.
Vinita, sorry to interrupt, but I think you can take two more questions, quick ones. I also can see the range of questions.
I was committed for some of the wrap-up time, so thanks Aman, thanks for giving your time. So the another question, one second, just give me, I really like one question. Just give me a second.
And I think we can, because we still have so many questions. We can go beyond 5 also. 5 to 5:10 we can go on to.
Sure. Yeah. So now there is one question here. This is by Nupur Patak. It says, how are work from productivity issues different from that of work from office?
Well, work from home and work from office productivity issues, only with one respect they would be different. It is the team spirit. People being, because we being human being, being together brings a different kind of feeling. It's something like that. And yes, when we are together, how we spend that time is the next question. We spend time gossiping and having a cup of tea all the time, and going down to take a cigarette smoke, or that's one part of it. But if you see, work from home is a very studied subject, especially in IT companies across California and US and all places. What they understand is that work from is about giving a very undivided attention to the work at hand, working especially on computers and stuff like that. But that, but it has a negative aspect where building of a strong team doesn't happen because we don't get to know each other personally. We do not see, see each other smiling. That's something where the problem starts. So this is the fundamental difference. You can do everything sitting from home all the time, permanently, but you will be very good as an individual contributor. But if you have to work as an organization, there has to be a mix of a teamwork, physical meeting, uh, and work from home added to it will be an advantage. But only work from home will not be good enough to create a good team spirit. Individual worker, yes, it can be.
Okay, so this is again a very different kind of question coming from Virendra Pal Singh. Uh, he's asking, while an organization takes care of remote working challenges, what are the initiatives an employee has to take from his or her end, to become a champion?
Well, I mean, the indication is that why not companies enable employees to become remote working champions, right? Something, is it something to do with that? I could hear the end part clearly.
So then again, a short question here from Subhashri Sekhar. How can short-term work from home be more effective, and how can we reward the work from home champion?
Okay, so short-term work from home is very much employers have to take those calls. If you see last 3 months, series of employers have already come out and telling that now our company is going to change, the whole working. Not only this, the biggest challenge, there is a survey which is now going around, the CXOs of 500 companies are openly coming and telling that the business travel, the people of sales who are always on the road, even the business travel will not be the same, and most of their deals will be conducted over phone and video conference. So yes, work from home, short-term work from home or longer work from home will be a standard. Now, when it comes to rewarding these work from home, well, companies, like mine or anyone, the only way of reward is through outcomes. And I think we are still too early in terms of creating a robust mechanism of rewarding work from home champions. Today, it's a different environment. People can't go out of their home so freely. Maybe 6 months or a year down the line, we will have better standards in place.
Hmm. So one question here is, this is from Abha Singh. She's asking how work from home champions can create more work from home champions in the organization.
Yeah, so work from home champions are typically the torch bearers. They are the benchmarks. So, when you say work from home champion, they are not the guys whom we say that, okay, it is written on our head that we are work from home champions. They are the people who become very dependable people, dependable guys. Whatever happens, that, okay, just call that guy, the work will be done. Call that person, and, the toughest the job happens. So these are the people who become popular because they are able to churn out much more work, and not only the work, but also churn out much more ideas which others can learn. So this work from home champions are the guys who should be identified by the companies and given more opportunity to work from home, and should be patronized as what do you say, the torch bearers or the icons or champions, to be shown to other employees that this is how you can also perform. That's my view.
So now this is again a very, like from the time that we are living, it says industry at large, wherever possible, moving to work from home now. What is the future of work from home? This is Subhash Malik.
Yes, so at work from home is not new. It is pretty old, and a lot of, especially till when technology came and work from home was happening. But that acceptance of work from home was not that much. And I can tell you, most of the Indian companies used to frown with their employees working from home. I can give exceptions, which are named exceptions, but in general, working from home means somebody taking a liberty of taking a paid vacation. This is what was understood. But I have seen clients myself uh, who were dead against work from home, and now they are coming and telling that we are so happy that people working from home are becoming more productive, delivering projects on time. So I think we are okay, because you can even give me discount of no office cost to us also. So uh, obviously this is one thing which is now taking cognizance now. Clients are becoming more and more conscious about cost. They understood earlier that working from home may become a problem for them because productivity will not come. But now, with things getting proven that work from home can be effective, as effective or even more than from office, they are looking this as an opportunity to reduce their cost in terms of office cost, commute cost, travel cost, and all of that. And therefore, work from home is going to become not only a standard, but our prediction, SCIKEY prediction, also says that 50% of the workforce by 2020 end, 50% of the workforce would be predominantly working from home, which is a very large. So it means it will reduce the traffic, it will reduce pollution. It will certainly not be a good news for a lot of real estate companies because the offices will not be used much. But it is something which the future is becoming clearer. Work from home will be highly accepted. One very good thing which will come as a reward, that if you're in Pune, if you're in Delhi, if you're in Mumbai, or if you are even in Kuala Lumpur, it doesn't matter. What matters is that if you are talented and if you are getting engaged for a work, you can get engaged anywhere. So companies will have much better choices of talent to be engaged and hired at much better cost, and they can be anywhere now. And that is something which will fuel work from home as de facto standard and a very powerful model. So I'm very bullish about it.
Thanks, Alok, for that. And thanks, Aman, for giving audience more time. So the next question is the voice of employees from Varsha Yarazarvi. She's asking, is there a possibility that employers may start considering work from home as greater result yielding time, and would their expectations go high with this?
What the expectation?
Would their expectation, the employer's expectations are going to be high with this? That it's more productive to work from home. So are they going to start expecting more from the people?
Yeah, it is natural. It is natural because it is not about expectation of employees. It is basically more value for money. This is what will come up. It has started happening because of the pressure of COVID and reduced economies, and it's worldwide. But eventually, it will become a very clear standard that employers would expect more. Employees are going to be a self-starter. Rather, I was doing a seminar, and there it came out very clearly that freshers, who were inducted in companies and given training of 1 year or 6 months to get used to the organization, that luxury will probably cease to exist in near future. And freshers will have to learn all by themselves and compete with those who have lost their jobs to get a new job. So the world which is now emerging out is something which certainly is raising expectation level from employers in terms of value for money. So if somebody is asking for a high salary, they will no more look at a person from Bombay or Delhi. They will simply say, I would go ahead and pick up a guy from Lucknow or Jaipur or Indore who is cheaper, and you have to compete with them. So yes, very clearly, and an expectation is no more with respect to productivity. It will be with respect to the cost. It will be with respect to self-learning. It will be with respect to multitasking and much more. So yes, we need to brace for it.
Sure. So Alok, there are so many questions, and I know you have answers for all of those, and we also have to respect the time. So it's been really wonderful, and I just want to let audience know that you will be getting a getting the presentation and the coordinates of Alok. And I am now handing over to Aman for wrap up. And it's been really, really lovely, Alok, listening to. I mean, I was really impressed. You know, the depth of work that you have done in this field and how you have answered all the questions. So thank you for
Thank
that.
you
On
so
behalf
much.
of the audience. Yeah.
Thank you so much, and really appreciate this platform. And thanks for questioning a lot of audience I could not answer. Probably will do that in some other way. So thank you so much.
We will. Thank you so much. And this is one of those sessions wherein, as Vinita mentioned, that we are feeling bad. The range of questions, Alok, you know, if you were able to see the chat box, wow. Yeah. And I'm sure, and let's do one thing now, Alok. We will collate the questions, and if possible, if you can take out some time and reply
Yes,
to those, we will get them emailed to these people.
I would.
Yeah?
I would certainly do that. Certainly
Ah.
do that.
Okay. On behalf of National HRD Network, I would, you know, obviously, thank all the participants, Vinita, Alok, and हमारे जो show के पीछे थे, the lady who started, who sowed the seed, Gayatri. Gayatri is part of Alok's team at SCIKEY. She's heading HR. Gayatri, thank you so much. And then we of course have Akanksha to thank. She came up with the wonderful material and designer flyers and the interaction that we had. Thank you so much, the entire team. Avinash हमारे यहाँ से जो दिल्ली में है, who set up the entire technology, the platform. Darpan जिनकी people have been, the people sent me a couple of complimentary messages about Darpan and the way he introduced. So Darpan, you got some fan following coming up, huh? Good. Ji, a quick thing, Darpan, could you please show the slide, the earlier one? I can share what we are doing at the Pune chapter. Okay, before she's doing it, we have come up with a new, this networking is the power to prosper. This is one of the new initiatives that Pune chapter has taken on. Any new member who comes on board, okay, for the first 3 months, he will be offered guidance, mentoring, anything that the person wishes to seek that will help him promote or move forward in his career, in his job, whatever. So a blanket support of 3 months in terms of mentorship. So that is what we've recently launched, and this will be on until the 15th of August. Yeah. So anybody, our participants, anybody who's interested, please take on and let's utilize the facilities. In terms of mentors, we have very, very senior people on board who have offered their services, their knowledge to share with the new members, including Vinita, जो है हमारी team member. She is also part of this. So एक ये है. दूसरा मुझे बात करनी थी. Quickly, Arnaz, are you on board, please? Could you come? Arnaz is a volunteer. She is studying in the Flame University, and she has volunteered to help out our NGO, our partner NGO, I Give Life. They focus on spreading awareness about organ donation, and they've been in existence for the last 5 years. Alok, इतनी शिद्दत से मेहनत से वो लोग काम करते हैं. They've gone to villages. They have an MOU with the government of Maharashtra. They meet sarpanches. They go to remotest places wherein they spread the knowledge about organ donation, the benefits of it. And they've covered more than 2 lakh of people until now. And their focus is purely awareness creation. But as a byproduct, and obviously at the end of the day, you need to, somebody signs on and helps save somebody's life. That they've been successful in having such eight lives they've been able to save. So ये भी बहुत अच्छा है. Arnaz, over to you if you could share more about the.
Good evening, all. Thank you so much for having us over here. First of all, NHRD. Secondly, Alok sir, I really enjoyed the informative session today, and I really look forward to learn a lot from you in the near future. So coming back to I Give Life and organ donation, one of the things that enabled us to have the webinar today was Wi-Fi connection, and second thing was our electronic devices, maybe phone, tablet, or laptop. But what was the most important thing that helped us to have the webinar today? Our awareness and our good health. Therefore, I Give Life has been spreading awareness about organ donation since 2016. We would like to collaborate with you and do webinars for you so that together we can spread awareness about organ donation. The sad reality of organ donation in India is that only 8 in 1 crore people are aware about this and really look forward to be a part of such social causes. We would want to collaborate with you so that we can enlighten as many people as possible. You can also check out our Facebook and Instagram page, I Gift Life, and also connect with us on our website and our email ID. To know more and understand what we truly believe in, do log on to www.igiftlife.com. Here is a short clip of what exactly you can donate and how you, as an individual, can be a part of social change and bring a positive change in the society. Thank you.
Your voice is not coming, Aman.
Sir, thank you. How many people in a crore are nurse? Repeat that.
8 in 1 crore.
8 people in 1 crore
Are
donate.
donating organs. Yes.
My God.
And we are a population of 130 crore people.
Wow. Imagine how many lives we will be able to save. What all we can do. Insaniyat ke, hats off to you. Hats off
Thank you,
to you.
sir.
Really
Maybe
nice.
we
And
could Alok, we could do a session
yeah,
in your organization, an awareness session.
yeah,
We,
that certainly Gayatri and other people can run it for us. Rather, we have a very established NGO from my parent organization called SRKay Knowledge Foundation, and they
yeah,
are they are very big network of especially the healthcare and education. And I will make sure I'll talk to the CEO of how they can work, tie up with Arnaz and her initiative to bring awareness in villages of Gujarat where they are very, very, popular. So
yes,
that would probably accelerate, especially when you're talking about villages. This is where the awareness is less. Cities, still hospitals are asking, and we sign up those papers. But
yeah.
I think that thing I can always do that.
Well, good. Thank you so much. And ladies and gentlemen, we have a couple of interesting programs lined up. We have your email ID and contact details. We will be sending you across intimation. Please check your spam folders also. Sometimes ऐसा होता है कि वो spam में चला जाता है, पता नहीं चलता है, and you miss out on good opportunities like this one. Yeah. So on that note, thank you so much, Alok, once again. बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया आपका. Vinita ji, thank you so much for taking on the lead and getting this event together. Again, my heartfelt thanks to Gayatri and Akanksha, and of course Arnaz, Sheetal, Darpan, Avinash, everybody. Have a great evening. Enjoy yourself, and we'll see you again. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.